on the wrong way.
Are you just going to keep fiddling with that, or are we going to start?
Oh, we can start. Shit.
All right, hello everyone. This is our review of Toy Story 4. I'm here with Matthew. He's our special guest today on the podcast. Matthew, say hi. Say
hi. Hi, viewers. Hi, listeners, I mean.
All right, it's his first time, so let's see how we do here. All right, so we saw Toy Story 4. Matthew, can you just give your quick thoughts about it? What'd you think?
It was really good. I had high expectations for it, and I was very happy with it.
All right, so we can just go through here. So Toy Story 4, obviously the sequel to the first three Toy Stories. It was seen as really unnecessary. Did you think it was unnecessary, as a lot of people did?
The movie wasn't needed, but at least it was good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least they didn't make an unnecessary movie that was bad.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Where does this rank for you on the Toy Story movies?
I don't know. Like I told you before, I really should have gone back and rewatched the other Toy Story movies, but I don't know. It probably is one of the worst, even though it was still a really good movie. Yeah. You said the same thing, right?
Yeah, the Toy Story standard is really high. Those movies are great.
Yeah.
So it's tough for this one to fit in, but
yeah.
So I thought it was good. So we went through this. There was no short film, which I was disappointed in, because they usually have a short film before these Pixar movies, and they didn't have it.
We got a Trolls 2 trailer.
Oh, that was that was great. But no, it starts. How does it start again? Oh yeah, it starts like a little flashback. We see how Bo Peep got disappeared because she isn't in Toy Story 3.
Yeah.
And we see why that is here. That was the opening. And then we get a little flash through until the present, where the movie's taking place.
Yeah.
To the old song "You Got a Friend in Me" by Randy Newman. It's a good song, but yeah, it's a good song.
Yeah. So
then we see the beginning of the movie, where this is really a Woody movie. He's the main character, pretty much.
Yeah, I'd say that. It's mainly about Woody's purpose as a toy and him trying to figure that out through the whole storyline.
Because he was Andy's favorite toy, and now he's kind of without purpose, as he's not really a favorite toy anymore.
In the beginning of the movie, they were all in the closet because the parents cleaned up Bonnie's room and put all the toys in the closet, and they were waiting for Bonnie to come back, and everybody was being picked except for Woody and a few other toys, and like Woody was like sad looking through the closet, everyone being played with.
Yeah, and so he decides he really wants to have a real purpose, so he goes with Bonnie to school where she's not allowed to take toys, and helps her, like he gets her some supplies indirectly, like from throwing them out of the trash can, which is like a spork, some googly eyes, all that stuff, to make Forky, which he's a spork that becomes a toy, and he goes through kind of an existential crisis.
About wanting to be in the trash.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I actually liked Forky, just because when I first saw the trailer and I saw they made a toy out of a spork, I was like, okay, what's this gonna be about? But no, it was actually really good.
Yeah. I like how we kind of get a bit of like what being a toy is. Like in the first movie, Buzz thinks he's real, but like this is like he thinks he's trash. He doesn't think like he should even be conscious. Yeah. So it's kind of taking it to a new extreme in a way.
He had a good character arc.
Yeah.
The whole story. He changed into like a toy that had a conscience and knew why he was a toy, just like the other ones.
There was they decided to go on a road trip. Bonnie's family does, and we get a little montage of Woody making sure Forky doesn't dive back into the trash.
Yeah.
that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
All the times he got him out.
Key and Peele in this movie.
Oh yeah,
my
we'll get to them. They were great. So so we get to the end of that, Forky jumps out of the RV, goes down the road, and Woody also jumps out. Woody jumps out of a moving vehicle again. They make a little joke about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's good at jumping out of moving vehicles, but yeah. So he kind of tells him like the story of how all this has happened, like pretty much from Toy Story 1 up to now. Do a little walk back to where the RV is stopped, and he mistakenly says you got to be there for Andy, when he kind of reveals like he steers a bit personal, like how he doesn't really feel like he has a purpose much anymore.
Yeah, like he was telling Trashy that he has to be there for Andy, even though it was Bonnie was their kid, but Woody's kind of stuck back, attached to Andy, because he was his kid.
So
Andy's favorite.
So they reach the town where the RV is stopped, and they go by an antique store. It's like late at night, so they're just kind of hanging out. And he sees Bo Peep's lamp, and so they go inside, and they're met by these creepy ventriloquist dolls that were really scary.
Yeah, Gabby and
Gabby.
bunch of duplicates of the doll from like Goosebumps named Vincent. He didn't talk. He only smiled.
He just looked at you.
Yeah,
all creepy
his head turned 360. It was really
It was
creepy.
very weird.
Yeah.
So then she tries to steal his voice box because they're both old toys, and she assumes they're made at the same factory, and so her voice box doesn't work, and she tries to take it. And so they try to escape, but Woody is the only one able to escape. Forky is captured by them.
Oh, yeah.
And so, they get out. And he tries to get back to the RV, and he goes through he gets lost in the carnival.
Yeah,
there's a little fair going on in the middle of town,
uh-huh.
and he meets up with Bo Peep again, who's driving like a skunk,
a
skunk mobile,
a remote control car that has a skunk on the cover that looks like a skunk.
Yeah. So they go through the carnival because Woody's able to convince her to go help save Forky because she's now a lost toy. She's been on her own for a while.
Yeah, for a couple of years.
Doing her own thing, and so we kind of see how the beginnings of Woody deciding, spoilers, that he's gonna go be just be by himself, be his own lost toy again by the end of the movie.
End of the movie.
And so Buzz is trying to look for Woody. He's following his inner voice.
Yeah,
which Woody. So
it's funny because when Woody talks to Buzz about his inner voice and like it tells him like what to do and how maybe do the right thing sometimes. It's your good conscience, you know. And Woody says it's your conscience telling you what to do. And Buzz takes it too literally and actually thinks he's going to hear an inner voice. He doesn't hear it, so he presses the
buttons on his chest.
And it's like telling him a meteor shower or something like that. And he looks up.
Star command.
Yeah. It tells
so, like, he presses the same button like 30 times. And it's like 30 different voices. Like, how many fucking voices does he have in this thing?
Oh, yeah. Shoot. And ironically, they all just help him out the entire time.
Yeah, they always fit the scenario.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
They're in the most
perfect when he's
order.
Trying to find Woody, he clicks the button and it says meteor shower, and he looks up and Woody's like jumping off onto a roof.
Yeah, so he tries to get over to him, and he gets hit by gets hit by a lot of stuff, like a porta potty door and all that. So he gets picked up by one of the carnies, who I think we recognize, who looks like one of the guys that we would see at like our local carnival, the Ox Roast. Yeah. He's like mid-30s, and he like smoking and just chilling out. I don't think he was smoking in the movie, but he looks like the kind of guy.
He put Buzz up as a prize
to win, and that's when we see Key and Peele, and you can talk about Key and Peele, Vic.
Key and Peele,
they're favorites.
Yeah, they're favorites. I thought it was really funny when I found out they were gonna be in Toy Story because I've just never known them to be a PG kind of
group.
Because
I saw them in the trailer, and I hope that they wouldn't they wouldn't be too much of annoyance in the movie. They might try to force them too much, and they were used really well, and they were always really funny.
They were used really well, and there was a scene where Keegan-Michael Peele gets his foot stuck in Buzz Lightyear's
because they're kicking him.
Yeah, they're kicking
and Buzz closes his helmet over his foot, and that's how he gets out, and they're freaking out, and they follow Buzz, and they try to beat him up on the roof of the antique store when Woody and Bo try to go save Forky.
And Woody then tells them that they're trying to get to a kid, and they could possibly
get them, have them go with them.
So they go with them in hopes to maybe be adopted from Bonnie.
So they go in, and Bo finds Duke Kaboom, who's voiced by Keanu Reeves, who is amazing in this movie.
That was so funny.
He plays a Canadian stuntman toy who was failed because he didn't do what like the commercial says in terms of his jumping, and so he's known more as a crash artist than a jump artist, which he can crash like nobody else. So they get him to help them in their rescue plan for Forky. So Woody and Bo go to find a nice high place, I think, to set up to use Kabooms to jump over to the middle case where they're holding Forky. And Buzz and Key and Peele look for the key, and we get a hilarious scene where Key and Peele, they're thinking of ideas to get the key. They're in the shelf, and they come up with 3 different ideas. The first one's when they just attack the old lady who owns the shop out of nowhere when she looks at them.
Yeah, that scene is in the trailer.
And then the second one is when they just roll the baseball down. She looks at the baseball, and then they also attack her in the face.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna let you explain the third one.
Okay, the third one was really funny. So it starts off just as the other first two scenes, like the woman walking through the aisles, and they're like in the cabinet waiting, but nothing happens. And then she closes the shop, and nothing happens. She starts driving home. We see her drive home. Nothing happens. She gets to her house. She gets in bed. She's sleeping. And we just see a shot of her sleeping. And we see Key and Peele, the two toys, rise above her body.
It looks like a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
They look so scared. They were like, they were like in the shade. It was all dark. You can only see like their eyes. It was so creepy. I'm like, are they gonna murder? I think they're gonna murder this old lady. And Bud's like, well, we're not doing that.
Yeah, it was funny because then it cut to just a scene of looking at the woman's house, and then just screams.
That was amazing.
Yeah, that was funny.
This is weird because this is probably easily the funniest Toy Story movie, which is
yeah.
kind of weird because it's supposed to be like the conclusion. It's kind of like it's kind of like the epilogue. Toy Story 3 is like the conclusion. It's kind of like an epilogue. So I enjoyed it because it was so funny, and we had a great theater that we were in with the other people. It was a lot of like 20-year-olds to 25-year-olds who grew up with these movies. There were like no kids. Well, we went at like 10:30, but like so there were like no kids there.
Yeah, exactly. They were all home, which was good.
Yeah, we were the target audience for this movie.
Oh, for sure.
Well, yeah, so, and they get the key by the old lady just setting the key in a little bowl in front of them.
After like 5 minutes of these possible scenarios that we all watched through, they finally get the key, and Bo Peep and Woody ask, "How'd you get the key?" And it flashes to a scene of the old lady just putting it on the table right
incredibly difficult. It was very hard.
Yeah.
So they try to save Forky, but they fail. They can't rescue him.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else gets out. Woody's still adamant about saving Forky. Bo's like, they're like, why? And he says, it's the only purpose I have.
Yeah.
And they all leave, except Buzz, who tries to get him to come.
Yeah.
And Woody just goes back in. He can't leave Forky behind. And Buzz keeps tapping his inner voice for a reason to go back, but it keeps saying like, fall back, retreat, and he goes. Which that was one thing I wanted a bit more Buzz in this movie.
Yeah.
It was a bit too much Woody. I would have preferred to have more Buzz because he's one of the two like main characters.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So he goes back in. He trades his voice box for Forky. Yeah. Because Gabby kind of like has like a cool moment where she kind of explains why she wants to be loved by a person.
Right out of the factory.
Because she's obsessed with the owner's granddaughter.
Harmony.
Yeah, to adopt her as like her toy.
And out of the factory, her voice box was like defected, like it didn't work. So she always thought that was the reason why like nobody wanted to play with her. So she wanted the voice box that Woody had, so maybe she could be loved.
Yeah, and then she gets her chance with the voice box, but she gets rejected by Harmony. And she's like crushed. She's like, no, I have no purpose. You can have your voice box back. There's no reason. And then, but Woody's able to convince her that there's always a kid out there.
Yeah, and so originally they got Forky. Woody got Forky because he traded the voice box in, but he saw that Gabby was rejected, so he went to like convince her to maybe be with Bonnie and whatnot. So they all leave the antique shop and they go to the fair.
Yeah. Well, during this, so we have some scenes in between of like the old toys, the veterans on the RV, doing various things to stall Bonnie's family. Yeah. And this was so funny because like if I'm the dad, I'd be so pissed based on this vacation. So Jesse flattens their tire when they get there. They purposely stash Bonnie's backpack in the antique store when they go there, so she'd forget it and have to go back. Yeah. It's just
that dad had to stop like every 5 minutes because Bonnie kept losing Forky because Forky kept running away.
And just random stuff kept happening like from the toys.
Yeah. Somebody stops to find Forky and then forgetting the backpack. And then the tire being flat because, why am I drawing a blank on her name?
What?
Who poked the tire again?
Jesse.
Jesse. Yeah. I don't know why I drew a blank on the name. But yeah, that dad went through a lot.
Yeah. Oh, also, as they're leaving, Woody says to meet them at the carnival. Mm-hmm. And so in order to do this, the toys disable their navigation and have like the Triceratops from Toy Story 3 kind of like be the voice navigation. Yeah. And they make him go back to the fair. And then somehow like
they told him to go to the carousel.
And then Buzz like takes control of the pedals and they start just going stop, go, and they get like like 10 police cars behind them.
Yeah.
In hot pursuit, and they
When-
drive
yeah.
into the carnival.
Yeah.
They're going like 5 miles an hour, but still, they drive into the carnival with like 10 cop cars behind them.
They
Like
made
this
it to the
dad
carousel.
must be fucking losing it at this point.
I know. It was great. It was fun.
This has been probably the worst vacation he's ever had.
Yeah, but on Woody and the rest of the toys from the antique shop.
They get
on
there
the, yeah,
because
on the
Duke
way to
makes
there-
his jump, his crash,
Oh yeah.
which is great because he does his pose.
Yeah, Duke had a jump to put this flag line from like wherever they were.
They go on the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, the Ferris wheel or something like that, and they had to go across the line to get to the carousel or something, and like. Duke makes this big jump, makes a pose, and just gets clotheslined. Oh my god! Like takes out a light bulb. It was so funny.
I was like, is he dead? Because he hit his
Yeah.
face on the thing.
He got back
He
up and
was
just started doing more poses.
It's like, can toys die? Because he definitely should have died when he just hit his face on the wall.
Yeah, I know.
It was like a Tom and Jerry cartoon. It was so funny.
It was funny.
I lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they get Gabby They find a lost girl. Gabby kind of sets
Yeah.
herself up to comfort her.
Yeah.
So she gets adopted. So then when Woody they get next to the RV, they open the canopy.
They're on top of the carousel. They open the canopy. The RVs are next to the carousel,
Yeah.
so they open.
They're on the canopy of the RV. Yeah.
Yeah, they open the canopy so the toys can go on it to get on top of the RV. And Woody's saying his goodbyes to Bo Peep and whatnot.
But he can't go through with it, so he decides to stay because he wants to be like he
Yeah.
doesn't really have much of a purpose, and he wants to just
Yeah.
like be who he is now.
Yeah.
So he
He-
says goodbye to all the old toys, which is really sad.
Oh god. Yeah.
One last big hug with Buzz, and
Yeah.
says goodbye to Forky and all them.
And he ends up staying with Bo Peep
Yeah,
as
he
a
gives
lost toy.
Jesse his sheriff badge, which was
Mm.
back in earlier. Bonnie took the sheriff badge off Woody when he wasn't played with and gave it to put it on Jesse when he was in the
yeah.
closet, and so we kind of see him learning through his journey here.
Yeah.
That it's time to move on.
Yeah.
Accept what
exactly.
you are.
Exactly.
Yeah, and so they go their separate ways. It's kind of the movie ends. We get some mid-credit scenes then when the movie ends. Woody and Bo are with the carnival.
This was like his purpose
yeah.
now is helping other toys find kids.
Yeah.
So all the toys up on the carnival's prizes have been there for like, I don't know, years.
Yeah.
and nobody wins.
What
at
were
those.
Key and Peele doing in the mid-credit scene again? They were doing something. I forget what they were doing.
Oh
exactly.
yeah. Okay, so they got all the toys handed out to kids without the guy who's running the carnival game. No.
Oh yeah, they attack him.
Yeah, they. Oh yeah.
Don't
yeah.
they attack him?
He had his headphones on, listening to music the entire time. He doesn't realize all the toys are gone. All the toys that were prizes found kids, and they're like, "What do we do now?" And Key and Peele suggests this one scenario, and it cuts to a scene of them growing as giants. And one of them has fucking laser
They start
eyes.
just shooting lasers.
Yeah, another one has
They
like
start like
fireball breath.
electrocuting the whole fucking carnival.
Yeah.
It starts like exploding, and it's their voices get like all deep and stuff. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly. And obviously that didn't happen.
it's
but
like they're like
then
Dark
Woody-
Souls characters.
Yeah. And obviously that didn't
It's
happen,
so
but
funny.
like Woody was then like, yeah, no.
No.
I think we should just stick to helping toys find kids.
Yeah, and then the last scene is Bonnie enters first grade, and she comes home. She's got a new toy. It's like
yeah.
it's a female Forky, but it's a knife.
It's a knife.
And Forky's like, I can answer all of your questions. And the knife is like, why am I alive?
Yeah.
And he's like, I have no idea.
Yeah.
We still have no idea how these toys are alive, how
No.
they become alive, how can they die?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a good movie. It was a very good movie.
Like, what defines it as toys? Like the old stick and hoop? Is that a toy? Is that sentient?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, whatever. It's a movie for kids, so
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
We don't need to go.
We don't need to
No, we don't need to-
break
no.
down.
We don't gotta go
this.
through it in any sort of yeah. But yeah, overall I enjoyed the movie. Again, it just felt unnecessary.
It was definitely unnecessary.
That doesn't make it not good because
Yeah,
it was still good.
I
but-
was expecting it to be good. Like I told you, I wouldn't expect Tom Hanks to go through the movie just because he wanted more money, but because it was probably a good script and he liked it. And
he's
that's
not
why-
dying for money at this
Yeah,
point. Yeah.
and that's why I expected it to be good, and it was really good. So I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I saw someone said this is the epilogue of the Toy Story. It's not like the conclusion. I like that a bit more
Mhm.
because Toy Story 3 was such a good conclusion.
Yeah.
Toy Story 3, it's my least favorite Toy Story movie, but
Yeah.
it's a great conclusion. I can't deny that. It
Mhm.
closes the trilogy on such a good note.
Yeah.
Because
I
Toy
agree.
Story 2 is my favorite, I'd probably say. Do you have your favorite out of the old three?
It'd definitely be number two. Number two.
Number
Yeah,
two is just
number
the
two.
best mix of characters and also the animation, because the animation Toy Story
Yeah.
1 is like a bit dated now.
Yeah.
Like Sid looks like a fucking PS1 character.
Yeah. No,
Like even Andy looks creepy. Like the Andy they showed in this movie in the flashback looked nothing like the creepy ass Andy from Toy Story 1. And it's just like things have really changed. The animation was great in this movie, easily, because
thinking back to all these movies,
Disney has all the money they can make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy thinking back to all these movies. Like this story has been going on for so long.
And they're still making them good. That's
That's
the best part.
That's the good part.
We live in a world where we still haven't messed up Toy Story movies yet.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you Disney for that at least.
But yeah,
Now,
it was
can you
very
cancel Lion King from my schedule, please? I don't want to go see that.
good. Dude,
I'm
that
gonna
just
see
looks.
It
That
just looks weird.
It looks weird only because it was an animated cartoon, and now they want to do the same thing but make it look like they're real animals. I just can't picture an actual.
We can like do like a Lion King preview. We need to like have a Lion King right now.
There's no way you can make a lion sing and have it make it look real. You know what I mean? I don't see a real lion sing.
Well, I don't know
they
if
don't have very.
It's not. Yeah.
They don't.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
That's a video for another time. We don't need to go into it here. This is just trying to make a Toy Story 4 review.
They just don't have facial expressions. That's all I'm saying.
That's fine.
The cartoons.
So, yep, I enjoyed it. 8 out of 10 for me. I don't know if you have a rating you want to give it.
I'm going to give it a 9.
9 out of 10.
Yeah, just I'm not that hard of a critic.
Yeah, okay.
I like movies.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I like. Okay.
No, you're really into movies. I just consider you a harder critic than me.
Yeah.
You know more about movies than me, so that's
all right. So Matthew, anything to close the podcast on?
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
It was a pleasure.
Of course.
And yeah, go see Toy Story 4. It was very good.
Go see Toy Story 4. Do not see Lion King. I'm kidding. I'm gonna go see it.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna go see it.
Another podcast for another day.
Yeah. Do you have anything funny to end the podcast?
Shoot. I heard you do a podcast with Zach like this once, and he didn't think of anything. I can't think of anything.
Can't. That's how we can't like this.
We can't. Then
No.
you think it's something funny.
No, this is my show. You're supposed to say something funny. You're the guest.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting.
Moo.